I'm Christian Blüthner and I'm going to take you guys to a quick factory tour. Over here, that's where we are starting. That's how the timber comes in. Bark is already fallen off, and the wood is about 10 years old. It has been well seasoned, exposed to sunlight, to rain, and to all these different climate environments to stress out. And only the best part of the timber is being used. 50% of that wood is going into the further production in our woodworking department, which we are seeing now. This is actually a panel in a sandwich design with a red beech in the middle, laminated or sandwiched from both sides with solid spruce. That's actually where we are producing the beams from to provide the rigidity to the rims, supporting 20 tons of tension applied by the strings. This is a nice piece of wood actually. This is the head of a piano leg made from solid red beech. It's an extremely hard wood, providing a cross stability when you start pushing the piano, making sure that the legs are not breaking off. People who are familiar with piano pieces, they could already guess what this is going to be. That's a part of a fallboard, which will be later on laminated from both sides to provide the traditional shape of a nice piano fallboard. It's a nice example of having an idea how piano rims are made. Now you see a package of saw-cutted solid red beech, which is crosswise laminated and placed into that mold, and the pressure necessary for the gluing process applied by the spindles, where there's a certain force, they are closed to provide the tension required, and then we keep them inside until the glue is being setted for 24 hours. Outer rims, which are assembled from two different shells for the long and straight part and the curved part of the piano. Whenever we glue something like that together, it has to rest to make sure that the tension applied by the glue is released and things have been settled well. This is one of our treasuries where we are keeping the soundboards. And as you can see on a soundboard like that, they're made from extremely fine grained spruce. You could hardly see the grain. They are more than 30 years in a distance of 10 centimeters. This is because the wood grows in a very high altitude where trees only have a few months to allow metabolism with potential growth. This is resulting in extremely even structure of the timber with an even density, perfect material for Blüthner soundboards. Like that, we're keeping them in a very dry environment. Over here the humidity is 0. That also applies for the pin blocks which are placed in that special climatized room, making sure that they're not absorbing any kind of humidity, making sure that the pin plug is providing the right torque to the tuning pins installed later on. Well, over here, this is our rim assembling department. Where you could see iron frames are perfectly well fitted to the entire construction. Maybe that's a good part of the factory to show you how soundboards are working. I'd like to explain you how a soundboard works by using the little music box, which you could hardly hear. Now, when I'm placing that on the soundboard, well, let's go over here. And the piano is prepared to have the outer rim installed. And what you see is actually what makes the piano unique is if you're looking at the keypad, which is an extremely important part because it provides the foundation for the entire mechanism to play on. In order to make sure that any noises which might apply from the mechanism by playing will not travel and amplify to the acoustic components, all its boards are isolated. So, and that provides two advantages. First of all, the soundboard doesn't pick up the vibrations coming from the mechanism, and second, it provides a certain amount of air circulation in the action compartment, making sure that the action is reacting to humidity changes in our living rooms, just like the entire piano. So whenever piano polish is applied, it has at the beginning a very uneven surface. So it needs to be sanded 6 times using sandpaper of different cone sizes till it's extremely fine, and then we start polishing it with cotton wheels and a polishing component, which I would like to show you in the next department. Actually how it works. I'm not perfect at this, but I'm trying to I'm putting some wax on it. Then you take, in this case, a leg of an upright piano, and you start just providing enough pressure, allowing the cotton wheel a proper grip on the surface. Then if you're doing that smooth and fine enough, you get a nice polished surface. And every little part of a piano needs to be polished like that. Now we are reaching the next stage of the grand piano production. To have an iron frame being shiny as that one, it takes more than 40 hours. it requires primer and fillers and sanding and coating and again sanding, polishing, and until a final gold bronze is applied, which is being covered with a clear lacquer to keep it protected for the next centuries to come. Well, what that is, of course, then later on the iron frame is applied and married with the piano, and strings are applied to the piano. You could actually see already that it's quite a process. Just to put the string on takes 8.5 hours. Kannst du uns mal eine Bassseite machen?
Ja.
Okay. Going to make a bass string. First he puts a core wire in, which is made from a high quality stainless steel, which will be stretched already with the same tension as the string will later on apply in the piano. For that we're using air pressure. And then a copper wire is being winded around. And this requires actually extremely sensible hand. And it's important that the copper wire is being laid by a hand in a firm and fine equal way around a twisting core wire. If you tried that without any practice, you would badly fail.
Can you do it?
No, I couldn't. That's why I have a specialist doing that. Ta-da! We have a set of keys already being prepared for installation. And the next step, they are going to put the actual mechanism on top of that, allowing the translation from the key movement into a movement of the hammer. This is already done over here. If you're looking at the hammers, you could see there's a little red dots which you see over here, and it's actually a cashmere tissue which embedded a steel axe, which is very fine, allowing to join all the action components. And if you come over here, Danielle, you have a better angle. If I'm using the key, just try to do that from the side. Using the key, you see how the hammer is being accelerated. So to make that in the slow-mo, you see the hammer being lifted to a certain point, and then the jack is being caught by a little wooden piece over there, and it's been slowly sliding through the roll of the hammer. If you do that fast, you have an acceleration effect. Similar to on a vintage stone throwing machine. Well, over here, that's our special room where we are keeping the prepared special pianos. And this is the piano we specially made for Pianometropool. Took us 18 months to match the veneer in that extraordinary fishbone pattern. And it's a rosewood, special rosewood palisander, a very rare veneer. And now it's ready. So let me play a few chords for you. That's the latest masterpiece, which we are going to deliver on 23rd of December to Rijswijk.
I don't like the color.
So, welcome back to our showroom. Let's go over there and try some pianos. So this is another special edition. It's a Julius Blüthner, actually a reincarnation of original piano designed by Julius Blüthner himself. And that's why I have incorporated all his personal achievements and awards into the piano, coming with an inlay of an outstanding bull walnut into the framed into a brass inlay with the original Blüthner carved music desk, turned legs of course, which was the style of the Victorian time. And since he was the awarded supplier of the royal court, the crest of the royal court have been incorporated into his emblem as well, along with an inlay of his personal awards. I hope you enjoyed the tour and looking forward to see you one day over here in the factory yourself.